Friends, welcome back to Plan Life Right. I'm your host, Kevin Ross. Now listen, we talk a lot on this show about finances, retirement strategies, building legacy, but let's be real. None of that matters if you don't feel good. What good is wealth if you don't have health to enjoy it? Today's conversation is all about longevity, vitality, and staying strong as we age. We're going to pull back the curtain on a practice that's redefining what healthcare should look like, not just sick care, but proactive wellness, precision medicine, and long-time optimization. Joining me is the founder of Coastal Primary Care Wellness, Dan, the visionary behind the brand, and Lexy, the clinical engineer driving innovation. From medically supervised weight loss to hormone replacement therapy and cutting-edge peptides, they're not just treating symptoms, they're helping patients rewrite what's possible for their bodies and their future. If you've ever wondered what's really going on with your energy levels, your metabolism, or your aging process, this podcast is for you. So let's dive in. Dan, every great venture starts with a story. What was the spark or moment that made you decide, hey, I'm going to open Coastal Primary Care and Wellness?
For me, it was just came from watching people I know struggle, hitting walls in the healthcare system. We've all heard of, friends and family forced to pay insane deductibles from time to time, or, having to wait weeks just to feel like you got a rushed visit. And next thing you know, you're in your car on the way home and you remember all the questions that you wanted to ask in your appointment. And now what do? Do you call? Do you wait on hold for an hour to try to get reconnected again? And for me, I just really wanted to make a space where patients could feel seen, feel heard, that we really get to know the patients. That feel a lot, we don't want people just to feel like a name on a chart.
Right.
And so that starts with every patient gets Lexy's cell phone number. Call or text anytime they need anything, have any questions. Every consult is 45 minutes. Once a year, we'll offer a free lab review to anyone who's not a member. That's 45 minutes of just talking about your labs, reviewing, everything, answering your questions, and there's no pressure, there's no decision-making process. At the end of that, it's just a lab review. If they wanted to go forward and choose a plan, our plans that we offer are priced to mimic a cell phone bill or even like a cable internet bundle package. So this is meant to be affordable and accessible for everybody at the end of the day. So you're getting great health care when you need it, without all the hassles or red tape, for affordable prices that's, hopefully everyone can get access to. And that's kind of where we found our motto of elevating wellness and lowering barriers. That's our driving points we're trying to hit at.
So what you're saying is if I have a consult with Lexy and then we hang up and like 30 minutes later, to your point, I'm like, oh God, I meant to ask this. I can actually call back and I don't get I have to get hit with another bill because now I'm having another office visit.
You can call or text at any time.
Yep. And that's part of your plan. So it's unlimited access, and this is just a simple monthly plan that goes month to month. But yes, to your point, you can reach out anytime and get those questions answered.
That's fantastic. Unheard of, from what I know. Built Coastal Primary Care and Wellness around advanced offerings like medical supervised weight loss, HRT, peptide therapies. What inspired you to bring these highly specialized treatments into a primary care setting, and how do they all work together under one roof?
Personally, we believe that they all belong together. And, someone may come in, feeling off balance, not sleeping, unexplainable weight gain. And sometimes the answer is not always just another prescription. Real health isn't just treating the symptoms, but it's understanding the whole person. So by having all these tools under one roof, it allows us to get into that root cause analysis, and which is, our belief is we're grounded in functional medicine. Functional medicine is all about root cause analysis. And by having all these tools and resources, we can treat the whole person to the best and not just be prescribing that next medication that's adding to their routine.
Got it. That's awesome. Weight loss programs, they're everywhere. I get emails all the time. I don't know how the internet knows I need to lose weight, but evidently they do. Everywhere these days. You can can you walk us through what makes your approach unique? For example, a role of peptides or personalized hormone optimization. Describe kind of what kind of results your patients typically see, and what does peptides mean, and let's dive into that a little bit.
Yes.
Let's see answer that.
Yeah.
All right.
So we don't believe in crash diets or chasing a number on the scale. We really want to restore your metabolic health. And so every patient's going to receive a personalized plan for them. And that could look like peptide therapies. And an example of the most common peptide that most people have heard of is semaglutide, Ozempic. So it could look like that: hormone balancing, lifestyle coaching, ongoing lab monitoring. We really don't want to be cookie cutter. And because we are primary care, we want to monitor your whole health, not just your weight. So we really want every patient to feel better, function better, live better, all while using a supportive, long-term, healthy approach.
That's awesome. Thanks.
Yeah.
So let's go into the hormone replacement therapy part. And I know that can feel intimidating. So how do you tailor HRT protocols for each patient's goal and lifestyle, and what safeguards have you put in place to monitor or monitoring have you put in place? Do you have that you can ensure both the safety and long-term success for your patients?
That I totally get it. It's a great question because hormone replacement therapy can be overwhelming. And so with Coastal Primary Care, we're going to start every patient with that conversation. We're not just prescribing medications or protocols to someone right off the bat. We really want to get to know them, understand, what's going on symptomatically. Are they tired, moody? Again, that unexplained weight gain. And then from there, we would be able to reference their health history with their labs that we would do. And then that's when Lexy could create a protocol that's built just for them. So that at the end of the day, we're checking in routinely, we're fine-tuning things as we need, as we do more labs and more lab intervals. And the patient's never on their own to, figure anything out. And this dynamic approach of, checking off all the boxes is where it puts safety at the front and center of everything that we're doing. So I think that's like the smartest way to start. It's just with that conversation with that patient, hearing from them firsthand, what's going on?
Right.
Tell me what's going on symptomatically, and then we can look at everything at a finer detail from there and then create something.
So that's kind of the whole background, and we touched on a little bit, but going this approach, instead of like a standalone med spa where they're just really going into, so I like to call it the fat shot because I can't remember, semaglutide or whatever, or say it right. Or we're a hormone therapy replacement, and that's kind of all they do. You guys are kind of, taking this full primary care approach, right? Which is really the differentiator between you and all these other med spas or whatever the names of these companies are.
If I had to speak on like a main differentiator that would also, help hopefully build confidence in people that are considering these therapies is at Coastal, all of these medications are offered to patients at our pharmacy wholesale prices. So we don't make any money on any of these medications that we are prescribing to patients. What does that mean? That means that there is zero incentivization to ever put someone on a protocol like we're discussing that is not medically necessary for that patient. And that kind of, again, brings the safety back into this. Well, because we're all human. And by having these prices set at wholesale from our pharmacies to our patients, they're able to, again, more people can access these therapies that do need it, but no one's ever going to get this that is, borderline not needing it.
Right. Right. So you've got somebody that may have been thinking about, man, I'd love to do it. I need to lose weight, but I can't. I mean, if you go to Ozempic, it's whatever, I think they've got it down to 500 now a month, or, and then some of these other companies are, right there, 400, 500, it's still 400, 500 a month. You guys are actually cutting that price down by what, half or even more than that?
So yesterday I spoke with a lady, and she's currently paying $330 a month for the compounded version, which is much more affordable than the brand name Ozempic.
Mm-hmm.
She's still paying $330 a month. And when we took her exact dosage and matched it with our concentrations, on her price average per month is $147.
So you've literally cut it more than half.
It's literally for the exact same protocol, exact same dosing, $147.
That's
so
incredible.
it doesn't have to be a car payment size monthly commitment for someone who genuinely is wanting to lose weight and make these lifestyle changes. But the financial part is the only thing that's holding them back. We've removed that.
Just to chime in on that, making sure that we do use a regulated compounding pharmacy. Some of these websites that you go to find your medication, you actually don't know what type of pharmacy and they're using and if it's safe and what the regulations are. So we make sure ours are under that standard so that what you're getting is safe to use.
Absolutely, yeah. Every pharmacy is 503A, 503B, compounding pharmacies, federally regulated, FDA approved. You know exactly what you're getting, U.S. ingredients, what's coming to you.
Yeah, I didn't even know there was that regulation in there. I guess I hope that there was, but the fact that there's some that are operating, what I'm hearing, that are operating without that regulation, that's a little troublesome, I would say.
It's just, it's always good to ask a provider. You should never be shy to ask, where your medication comes from. And, if anyone's ever hesitant to answer those questions, I mean, that might be a red flag.
A red flag, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That's a little frightening for me. Okay, so for someone hearing about Coastal Primary Care Wellness today, what's the step-by-step process to become a patient? From the first call or the online inquiry to their first consult, and then the treatment plan. Take us from the very, very beginning through the process, and then to the end goal.
We've tried to make it as simple as possible. You can reach us online or by phone. There's no insurance needed. There's no referrals need to be sent our way. You literally just schedule that comprehensive evaluation with Lexy, and she's going to go through your goals, your medical history. She'll cross-reference with your labs. She'll make that tailored protocol that fits your lifestyle, your budget, and from there we're going to just continue checking in because we want to hear back from you. We want to hear your feedback. We want to celebrate your wins as you hit your milestones. Again, you're never on your own to feel like you're on your own or to figure anything out. And, at the end of the day, we're just trying to grow that relationship with you and build more on your celebrations of success.
That's fantastic. So if they're going to go online, how do they find you? What's the website?
Website is coastalprimarycare.com, coastalprimarycare.com. And our main phone number is 813-678-6063. So you can call or you can even text that number and say, hey, this is so-and-so, and I want an appointment. How do I schedule an appointment? And we'll get you scheduled right then and there.
That's fantastic. That sounds really super easy, much easier than when I need to see my other kind of doctor. So that's awesome. So Okay, so launching this brand new healthcare company during these difficult times, I know they can't be easy. What's been the biggest challenge as a business owner, as an entrepreneur? What's been the biggest challenge so far, and what have you learned that you could share with other entrepreneurs that you might find helpful?
For me, the biggest challenge has been trying to shape or change people's expectations of what healthcare can be. When I first told like my close group of friends I'm opening this healthcare clinic, and their original response was, "Oh, you've gone to the dark side." You know, we just automatically associate healthcare with bureaucratic red tape
Right.
and unknown fees, you know, undisclosed fees, and it just makes our head hurt to think about it. So, but when we introduce patients to our method of integrating them into the system and getting that first consult with Lexy, and people are just really enthusiastic on how easy and simple it is. And after that, then they're starting to tell their friends, and you're starting to get those patient referrals, and that, you know, your biggest challenge now is your most rewarding part, you know, is you've changed people's expectations and minds about what healthcare could look like. So it's come full circle.
And you're not going to get an unknown bill. You pay your invoice first, and then you get the medication shipped. So it'll always be under your control on that. So we don't lock you into a long-term membership. We want you to be happy. We want to be there for the whole step of your healthcare journey, but you are not locked into anything and going to start getting unexpected credit card bills.
Yeah, so no hidden surprise there. Like, what is this bill coming in for?
Absolutely not. So, you know, Lexi meets with you and she recommends a medication as part of your protocol, and then you're going to get an invoice that has everything broken out on that medication, if there's supplies associated with that medication, if there's a shipping fee associated with that, you know, you see everything. Because again, we're not here to make money on medications like that. And then there is no, you know, contract. There's no annual contract. You're never locked in. You know, as long as, you know, you reach out to us before the next billing cycle, we can cancel that membership if you choose to, you know, find someone else, or you move or something. Life happens.
Yeah. Wow.
I guess
Super
just to
easy.
chime in and add a little bit something to all this, because advanced therapies really mean very little without a strong foundation. I just want patients to know we do monitor whole health, and that's why we do offer primary care and some urgent care services. So obviously there's a time and place where you're going to need to be referred out, and we can have that discussion, and that might be for you. But we kind of do want to be that one-stop shop for you and offer you any of your concerns, sore throat, blood pressure medication. We want to do a lot of these things to make it easier for you and under safe regulations, and making it tailored to you.
Absolutely. We want to be your go-to. Something's wrong, you get a spider bite on your ankle from yard work over the weekend, text Lexy.
Mm-hmm.
Your throat hurts, ear hurts when you're swallowing, got some sinuses going on, text Lexy. It doesn't have to be just about my hormone protocol or my weight loss journey that we want to be a part of working with your life.
Yeah. So you don't have to go, oh God, I got to go to urgent care, which happens sometimes, and then you maybe you've got the spider bite. You go in and there's 30 people in there, all with some kind of kid or disease that their kids have brought in, and everybody's got the runny nose. Now you get that on top of getting the spider bite.
And look, there's a time and place, and maybe I look at it and I'm like, yes, you need to go see someone. But more often than not, if you have some mild concerns and complaints, definitely check in. You have that concierge membership. You can text me, call me anytime. It's worth checking in, and before you go take time out of your day and PTO to go make another appointment.
Yeah, so to drive that home, all of this, you've kind of got the roadmap to each patient because you've got their labs. So you kind of know you're setting that marker from the beginning, making the recommendations, and then it's really, I guess, up to the patient to go, yeah, I want to do this protocol, or I can only do part of the protocol. Because maybe it is a weight loss, maybe it's some hormone things that came up in the lab work that they need to address, and so it's really curtailed to what they can afford, right?
Right.
And what they feel comfortable with.
Yeah, and I think another big thing is time. We want to respect your time, and I understand, like, working 8 to 5s it is hard to find time to go see a specialist, go see a doctor's appointment. And so some people just avoid it because of just time. So the patients that I've been talking with, some are talking to me on their way to work. So this, you can easily make time. You don't have to take PTO and take time off to schedule an appointment. We can talk on your lunch break. We can talk on your way to work. There are a lot of different opportunities to make an appointment without having to carve a big chunk of time out to go travel to a clinic.
Yeah, because I remember sometimes I had this doctor on the other coast, and he was a great doctor. He actually gave me time, but he gave everyone time. So my first appointment at 7:30, thinking he's had two others at 7:30, and now it's 8:30, and I'm finally getting waited on, and so now it's throwing off the whole day. Here it's like, call you on the way to work. Hey, this is what's going on, and then we can.
Absolutely. Our calendar software with scheduling blocks out 45-minute interval for each patient. So we're not double booking patients. You're not waiting on hold for someone to beep you in or anything like that. I also wanted to say for any first responders, it's firefighters, police, paramedics, anyone who's first responders in the state of Florida, we offer a 50% discount.
Wow.
That we're already offering on the primary care. So our primary care plan is $150 a month.
Okay. That
gets you everything under the sun that we offer, every service you have access to. So for first responders like police, firefighter, paramedics, that's going to be $75 a month for them and their spouses. And I met with a firefighter the other week, and poor guy's paying $600 a month for hormone replacement therapy. We all owe them a great service, and we all agree, they could make so much more money based on the risk that they put their lives in every day. So why are they paying so much money just for something that, their job is crashing their hormone cycles, their sleep deprivation crashes hormones with our first responders the most. We see it most out of almost any population. So we want to make this even more affordable and accessible for those and their spouses.
Wow, that's fantastic. So you guys have really taken out the barrier of entry, taken that objection right off the table.
There's no excuses.
There's really no excuses. It's just go to the website or make that phone call, because you've got an opportunity to really experience a concierge type service without paying some of these absorbent fees that are out there.
And we are Florida based. We're licensed in Florida. We can treat all Florida residents. If you are someone who's outside of Florida and this is still like hitting the mark with you, yes, these are things that I've been wanting to pursue or ask questions about, still reach out to us. We can connect you with our partners that can see patients in other states.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So even if you're not in Florida, we still invite you, reach out. We're very happy to connect you with our partners.
And our goal long term is to start getting licensed in other states. But right now, we're strictly Florida.
Putting the fence around the yard, and then we start expanding out.
That's right.
Yep.
Exactly.
It's the way to do it. Dan and Lexy, thanks. What an incredible discussion today. Thank you both for sharing your vision and the why behind Coastal Primary Care and Wellness. What stood out to me is how personalized, the science-driven, forward-thinking that your entire model is. You're not just treating patients, you're really empowering them to thrive. And I think that's really important. And for our listeners, if you're feeling off, if your energy's not what it used to be, or you're just kind of tired of that one-size-fits-all care that all of us kind of grown accustomed to, it might be time to get a little curious and see what's out there, see what's possible. So go visit coastalprimarycare.com. So you can get, book a first consult. That's free. They don't even have to pay for that, right?
There's no decisions after your first consult. You can have a consult, and then from there, if Lexy thinks that a lab review would be the best place to start, we'll put your lab order in. You can go get your labs. If you don't have insurance, we offer very discounted lab prices with our relationships with our lab partners. So you're not paying those full large lab fees. And then you got to come back and do a free 45-minute lab review with Lexy. And again, you have not paid us $1.
Wow. So yeah, that really is unheard of. I think sometimes I just drive by my original primary care and I get charged just because I'm within a 1 mile radius of
the toll.
the place. It's like a toll. Exactly right. So if you're listening, look, what we said, it's really easy. Phone number is 813-678-6063. Website's coastalprimarycare.com. There's really no excuse, people. Go in, get some information. I have one other. What if they're already on the fat shot regimen? And I know this drives Lexi crazy because I don't use the medical terms, but I'm doing it for the regular people here. So what if they're like, well, my thing's ending up, can they just switch that and say, let's start here? Is that even a doable thing as well? Or
switch to
so say they using one of the online services.
Yes.
And they're like, well, I'd rather go with you
Yep.
guys. Like, I'm going to save from 330 or 600 to,
right.
Whatever.
Yeah, we'll tailor that. So it could be after the discussion, we keep you on that same dose, or we have to make sure the concentration's the same. So some people kind of say, oh, I've been taking 10 units. Well, 10 units of what? What was the concentration? So we have to figure that out and actually see if you were on the max dose or what dose you were actually on. And we might start you on that same dose, or if it's been several weeks, months since you've been on it, we'll probably start you back at the baseline and slowly taper you up. But yeah, if you're already on some of these, we take all that in consideration and still come chat with us.
A lot of the weight loss only clinics, their protocols may be that you only get to increase your dose every 4 weeks. And you're stuck at this interval where this medication might not be giving you the desired appetite suppression that you're looking for at the dose that you're on, but you've got to wait 4 weeks until you're allowed to increase that dose. So, and then you're locked in there for 4 more weeks. One of that sets us apart is that protocol for us is we want to figure out your specific dosage that's right for your body as soon as possible. So we're going to start you on a small dose if you're new to it. And each week, you're going to slightly increase that dose until we hit the dose that's right for you, that you get that appetite suppression that we're looking for.
And no side effects.
And no side effects. So that also gets these results faster, which then saves the patient more money in the long run as well. So that's something else that if you're coming off of another clinic's protocols, probably enjoy ours.
Yeah, right. So let me get this right with what you said. So say you're a beginner out on it, was it like 5 milligrams or a milliliter, whatever. I don't know all the also medical terms, but
we don't expect anyone to.
So you start out at that minimum dosage, and the standard protocols, you stay on that a month, and typically people need more than the smallest dosage. So now you're in the dosage number 2 in month 2.
Right.
And then maybe that's still not quite there. I'm still eating quite a bit. And, okay, then you go into the 3rd month and you're in dosage number 3. Hopefully that maybe you get it, but not always, right?
You might start to get some effects, but not, in this came where I met a lady and she was so nice. She shared me that her frustrations were that she's paying $500 a month. She's on month 3 and she hasn't lost any weight and she hasn't gotten the appetite suppression that she was hoping for. And she's completely disappointed and she thinks the medication doesn't work. And so, when you start asking more questions, that's when you realize, oh, you've been stuck at this very, very small dose, for 12 weeks.
Oh, man.
That would have been our week 3 protocol.
Right.
For you. We've got to accelerate that. And again, this is putting safety at the forefront. We're monitoring side effects. We're staying in touch with them, and they're checking in with us too. So, but yeah, we want people to hit their goals as safely and effectively as possible. Yeah.
So you basically have taken, in this scenario, ladies put in 900 and you're still in month 1 protocol at, what did you say was it?
She had put in $1,500 and was on our week 3 protocol.
Wow.
Which would still fall under your 150 a month. For
Yeah.
us.
So
Yeah.
I don't think anybody listening has to really be a mathematician. You're saving a lot of money if you go to coastalprimarycare.com. So let's wrap this up. Look, guys, if I know we talk a lot about the 401ks, the Roth IRAs, and how to do all that, but you've got to think about your health span, not just your lifespan. We talk a lot about longevity and longevity risk. Well, if you get on these protocols, I just saw something the other day that they had some doctor, I think from Harvard, and they said that being on these GLP-1 peptides are slowing the aging by 3 years. So what that means is like an 80-year-old, the internal organs may be like a 77-year-old. So you're getting longevity. Everything's going to slow down eventually. That's how life works. But this stuff and what the early signs have shown is that it's not only helping people lose weight, which is why most people are on it, but it's affecting people with diabetes issues. Some of them are not even have to be on the diabetes drugs anymore. Heart conditions, they're on all these meds, and then you get on this, and then all of a sudden everybody's feeling better, and their heart pressure's going. Yeah, they're dropping weight, which I know has a part of it, but I think there's something really to this.
There's some stigma to some of the more common peptides that Lexy mentioned, and people just know them as the diabetic medication.
Yeah.
And it's easy for us to forget that these medications came out almost 20 years ago. This is not anything new.
Wow,
it might be new with TMZ and Hollywood, reporting on celebrities before and afters, but these drugs are probably some of the most studied drugs that have come out in probably the last 30 to 50 years. And these studies just keep compounding. Every 6 months there's more studies and more data coming out with more benefits, to where what may have started as, yes, used to treat diabetes is now being able to treat obesity, reverse prediabetes. And then that's taken at one level. Well, if we reduce that level down to what we would call a micro dose, there's so many other molecular benefits with like mitochondrial dysfunctions, stomach lining and gut repair. There's so many other studies coming out with more findings, like I said, every 6 months, that these drugs are going to be, expanded on their labeled use in the future. So it's very exciting to be a part of that.
Right, that's awesome.
And, we didn't really get a chance to talk about the other advanced peptides that we're into, but there's peptides.
Well, let's talk about it. We don't have to wrap this show up. We can keep on going.
Just wanted to share us, bring a small light onto the anti-aging peptides for memory and cognitive focus. There's peptides for energy and collagen retention and skin elasticity, hair fullness and thickness regrowth. We've got peptides for wound regeneration and tissue healing. There's so many peptides out there. Our bodies have over 7,000 peptides that we produce naturally, and we're able to work with these, again, highly regulated U.S. pharmacies that are able to produce these peptides, and then we can prescribe them to our patients to hit their long-term goals. And that's really where the wellness aspect of the clinic comes in. And that's where we're trying to hit longevity with each patient, and the goal is that these peptides can, with long-term use, even prevent illnesses from popping up down the road. So there's a lot of different uses for them and benefits out of them. It really just depends on, that's why we want to really get to know the patient. What is your goals? Not the cookie cutter answer. Really tell me who you are, what you're about, what's your goals. You've been playing tennis for 20 years, your elbow hurts, tell me that. We've got things that we can try before you go get that surgery with the orthopedic surgeon and pay that big deductible. There's other ways that we can approach this first. So that's.
And I think just one more thing, a lot of people throw around the word peptides and don't even really know what that means, and it's like a taboo word, but really peptides are just small branch chain amino acids, like less than 50. If it's more than 50, it's called a protein. So that just kind of helps explain like what they are. So.
Yes. Great point. So these aren't like alien words that just got dropped into our world in the last 2 years. If you look at Instagram, that's how it may appear.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, so peptides are in our body. We're creating them naturally, and then as we age, they start to go away. And so by replenishing our body's natural peptides, or by dosing for specific uses in localized areas, we're able to get outstanding results and benefits that when you feel it, you experience it, you're going to want to continue using those.
On. Right.
And that's where the longevity aspect comes in.
Yeah. Hey guys, thank you so much for sharing. I think this has been a fantastic podcast and something that we don't typically talk about, but I think it's something that we need to do for our listeners. And it's not all about the 401ks or the Roth IRAs. It's all about your health, right? And we could be making all the money in the world. We're typically probably really stressed out doing it. This is a good place to stop, to find out where your markers are, find out what's going on. And maybe all things are good right now because you're younger, but you start hitting that 50 marker and then things might get a little different. Go ahead and be proactive than reactive. And now we're at a great time where you can have the opportunity to do that and use Coastal Primary Care to help you through that journey, so that maybe all the insurance tables and everything, they've expanded out, life expectancy's expanded out. Maybe this is the next generational thing where they're going to have to make another adjustments in the life expectancy table because more people, it becomes more accessible. You guys hopefully expand across the U.S. where it's now affordable for the average person, not just for the rich and elite, which has kind of been the moniker of it all.
Kevin's going to get you to retirement. We're going to help you enjoy retirement.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
That's our goal.
That's exactly right. So don't forget to check out our previous episodes at planliferight.com. Subscribe to YouTube on us and at Spotify at Plan Life Right. Until next time, stay sharp, stay healthy, and always plan life right because life happens fast.
Thank you.